Hey everybody, welcome into Star Wars Republic, our show about all things Star Wars here on the Arena Productions. I'm your host Expat, along with my co-host Burley. How you doing, Burley?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good. So it's time to talk some Mando, but
Yes.
it's funny. It's like it's not really Mando. It's Bo-Katan Kreese. It's the Bo-Katan Kreese show now. It's not the Mandalorian anymore.
I was gonna say it's Bo-Katan starring the Mandalorian.
Yeah. I mean, well, co-starring now, it seems. I mean, it's almost like she's getting more screen time. We're going to talk about that. So, yeah, we're going to be recapping The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 5, called The Pirate. So, yeah, this is, of course, going to be spoiler-filled. So if you have not seen the episode yet, please go to Disney Plus and watch the episode before, of course, coming and enjoying this recap video. So that's your spoiler warning. And if you enjoy this content as well as our other content here on the Arena Productions, be sure to hit that like and the subscribe and the notification bell for when we drop a new episode, either of Star Wars Republic or any of our other content here on the Arena Productions. So, yes. So thank you so much for all of you that support us here on the Arena Productions. So with that said, let's go ahead and get into it, Burley. So, yeah, pretty cool stuff here. So, of course, we have Greef Karga. He's, in charge of Nevarro. And we go back to Nevarro in this episode. And, of course, he's here with his engineers and planning how to maintain the city, so to speak.
Yeah.
But then, of course, we get Gorian Shard. We get Gorian Shard. Remember that green, moldy-looking pirate guy? Yeah, he's back again. So he comes, and he's basically retaliating for the previous episode where Vane, I think it was like in the first episode where Vane was expelled from Nevarro. And so he's there for retaliation. And so he starts firing on the city and the people. So the people have to get out as fast as possible. And so, of course, Greef Karga, he tries to get in contact with the Republic because he talks about the new Republic is supposedly to support them, even though Nevarro is still independent and they haven't signed on with the new Republic yet because they're still, out there in the Outer Rim. So, but then he contacts Carson Teva. Obviously, Teva is a X-Wing pilot. And, he wants to help. And so basically Teva goes back to the Republic. And before he does that, though, he's talking to a character here that is from Star Wars Rebels. Good old Zeb. So we get Zeb from Star Wars Rebels here. I was really surprised and really happy about that. But anyway, what are your comments on the opening parts of the episode, Burley?
Yeah, I was surprised we were going to go back to the space pirate, have good old the Moss the space pirate come back, and you gotta give him a credit that he tried to negotiate with the space pirate, and the space pirate's just, no, we're not having any of that. You guys shot off your weapons here first, and I had to shoot and get rid of them while I'm retaliating. And then I do love that him trying to go, because he is, trying to be proper, going to the New Republic for help. The one fighter talking there with Zeb, and Zeb's like, yeah, you can send a message, but last thing we've ever heard from them is like 2 weeks ago. So you're going to be waiting a while.
Yeah. And so he goes, obviously, Teva, the pilot, goes to the New Republic. I don't know if it's actually on Coruscant. Maybe it's on Coruscant where he goes here. But let us know in the comments if it's a different location. But he goes to Colonel Tuttle here, and it's just he gets the bureaucratic runaround. But what's interesting is with Colonel Tuttle is from a couple of episodes ago with Dr. Pershing is that Kane woman who, of course, was on Moff Gideon's ship. And I still think she's got some, she's in cahoots with Moff Gideon. I think something's going on.
Oh yeah, they've set it up on that one episode that wasn't a Mandalorian episode where that episode, and then in this you see it as soon as the ship's landing, and you see it focus on her. She's like, and she realized who it is. She's just got that devious smile and all that, and it's just like, oh, she's gonna try some stuff here.
Yeah. And so he basically gets the bureaucratic runaround, Teva does. And so where does he go? He goes, obviously, to where Mando is. And he didn't get a very warm reception, did he?
Because, no, and you can't blame him, because, like, I think as Pedro and them walk out and they show him saying, like, no, we don't like being found. And, it's like, it's a courtesy. I'm doing this as a courtesy, we're not just shooting and killing you, so that way others won't find us, because you've helped me out in the past.
Right. And so then, of course, there's the council meeting, and we have the image of the armorer here. And of course, Mando, he makes his plea to the Mandalorians there to go and, of course, help Karga, even though Karga was on the opposite side the last time they met. The other Mandalorian, he stands up, the one who in the previous season fought Mando for the Darksaber, and in the previous episode his son was rescued, so he decides to of course to go with Mando and Bo-Katan to go to help Karga. So, I was surprised that he did that. But then again, of course, his son was rescued by Mando and Bo-Katan. So it's like he owed them that favor at least. So they all make this master plan, of course, to go with Mando and Bo-Katan. So Bo-Katan gets the other Mandalorians in her ship. And, they get to Nevarro, and then there's the big fight. And it's pretty cool. You get the aerial combat there. Of course, Mando is... kind of he gets in first, and he is kind of like the not disturbance in a sense, but he gets the other ships to follow him. So then Bo-Katan is able to get the others down onto the surface. And I just loved with the armorer how she goes in there with that big hammer. That during the council meeting, to speak, I guess, in their culture, you have to hold on to that hammer. But she goes up in there and just whacks those guys with the hammer and takes them all out.
Oh, yeah,
that was pretty. Yeah.
Well, that was the best. She has that, and she's got the not pliers, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Thing that grabs stuff, and she's knocking people in the back of the head with that. That was just great. It was great to see her in action fighting.
Yeah. So. Yeah, that was pretty cool. And so then, of course, at the end, they're able to take back Nevarro, and obviously, Greef Karga is very happy and tells Mando and the Mandalorians there that he's going to give that land that he had promised Mando before in the beginning episode. That land is going to go to the Mandalorians so they could settle on Nevarro. And they don't have to live in the sewers anymore. But what's interesting is in the episode here, of course, the armorer goes back to the sewers and goes back to where her armory was, that like hidden armory, and she summons, of course, Bo-Katan Kryze, and she tells her to take her helmet off because she's seen both worlds, and that she has seen the mythosaur, which means that now she is the chosen one, basically, to go and reclaim Mandalore. So she is now the only one that can take her helmet off, I guess. What did you think of that?
Yeah, this was an interesting thing I didn't see coming. Like, remove your helmet. And I thought, like, Bo-Katan was going to fight it a bit and be like, no, why? That's against the Kree and all that.
And you know what I thought, Burley? You know what I thought is, we talked about this in the last episode we did. Would the armorer ever take her helmet off? I thought during that scene when Bo-Katan was taking her helmet off, I thought the armorer was also going to take her helmet off.
I thought so too. I'll be honest. I did think so,
Yeah.
but no.
Yeah.
And just going to her and saying like, you can see you can unite and get all the other Mandalorians. So this is actually a very interesting plan by the armor. Get Bo-Katan to rally and get as many of the Mandalorians as she can.
Right.
Bring them back into the fold.
Right.
To unite and strengthen them, because I think the armor realizes, okay, even though we have this many, Mandalore was wiped out once before. Yeah. It could happen again. We need to be prepared.
Right.
So instead of us all being scattered and all like this, let's just get everyone we can, so that way, God forbid anything happens, we're all together. We can all fight together.
Yeah. Yeah. But there's now a new problem, because obviously we get a shot of Teva here. Of course, he's going back to Adelphi. So I think that's where he was in the beginning, maybe with Colonel Tuttle at Adelphi. But anyway, he's in space and he runs into this destroyed prison transport. And obviously this prison transport was the transport that Moff Gideon was on. And obviously his body was not in the wreckage, of course, when he sent the probe in. And what's interesting about this is, as he sends the probe in, he sees, of course, fragments of Beskar alloy, which means that now he thinks, and he's probably going to report this to the New Republic, that the Mandalorians were responsible for rescuing and freeing Moff Gideon. So what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, this is interesting. Because they're setting it up for a conflict between the New Republic and the Mandalorians. Mm-hmm. So it could be interesting. I'm very interested to see where this is going to go and how this is all going to play out. Because is it going to be like, is the New Republic instantly just going to become hostile on Mandalorians? Mm-hmm. Or are they going to take their time, try and find everything? But as it kind of seems like the New Republic haven't even really been looking into Moff Gideon lately. It's just like, yeah, he's gone, he ain't coming back kind of thing.
Yeah. So what did you think of the episode overall, Burley? I mean, we were talking about this at the beginning. I mean, we're seeing less and less of Pedro Pascal. We're seeing less and less of Mandalorian. It's almost becoming like Bo-Katan Kreese's show this season. And how she's going to try to get all of the clans back together to retake Mandalore. I mean, obviously with the Moff Gideon situation, that might, cause some difficulties because we're probably going to get Moff Gideon in the next episode. But I don't know. What did you think of the episode?
I think I agree with you. I think we're getting Moff Gideon next episode. Overall, I really enjoyed the episode, but what I think I have a little theory, I think, of what they're doing. They're setting Bo-Katan up this season. Uh-huh. I don't think she's making it out of this season alive. I think because now we're getting stuff with the New Republic looking in, whether it is Moff Gideon that takes care of her, or a New Republic or in some kind of battle. I don't think she's surviving this season.
Well, as they said, that the Empire is expanding, the Empire is growing again. Yeah. So, or is that the First Order? I mean,
well, I think it's the remnants of the Empire that end up becoming the First
Order. Yeah. So, we shall see. But good old Zeb there. I was happy to see him. So what does that mean? I mean, if we see Zev, who knows? Maybe we'll see Ezra Bridger, or we'll see, probably not Ezra Bridger, but maybe we'll see Ahsoka again or something, or even Sabine, because Sabine was one of the focal characters in Star Wars Rebels, and of course she is formerly a Mandalorian, so or she is a Mandalorian, so that would be interesting to see. And she did have the Darksaber at one point, so I don't know if we're going to see her in the Mandalorian. We'll probably see her in Ahsoka for sure, but
we could get her. We could still get Boba Fett, because now they're trying to reclaim every Mandalorian and bring him in.
Yeah.
Who
Might
knows?
get Boba Fett again. Yeah. Who knows? Yeah. He might make a cameo. There's only like 3 episodes left this season.
I think
There's only 8 episodes.
And next episode, I believe, is Bryce Dallas Howard is the one directing.
Right.
It'll be interesting to see how she does the episode.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. So anyway, that's been our recap of The Mandalorian, Season 3, Episode 5, titled The Pirate. So I've been your host, X-Bat, along with my co-host, Burley. We hope to catch you next week for the next recap episode of The Mandalorian. So until then, may the Force be with you, and we'll see you next week. Peace out.
This is the way.